Howdy y'all, Fuzzy Biker here at Baxter Cycle in the mighty metropolis of Marnie, Iowa, and look what we got behind us today. That is a 2006 Triumph Scrambler 900. That's a rarity. It's a carbureted motorcycle, and we're going to take that hot rod for a ride. Wahoo! This has got the 865cc parallel twin, 270-degree crank, 4-valve per cylinder, single overhead cam. Maybe it's dual overhead cam. Boy, it sounds good. If you're all in the market for a new Royal Enfield, Triumph, classic British bike of any type, get yourself over here to Baxter Cycle in the mighty metropolis of Marnie, Iowa. Those guys can help you out. Oh, it sounds good. Feels good. Wow, that is one thing you'll learn about a Triumph right away is the fueling is always excellent on them. This is a carbureted bike, which means you have to turn the gas on and off and you're going to ride it. Let's do the spin test. I don't know what the wheelbase is on this. I'll look this up and put it right below right here. It's got Metzler Torrance tires on it. Boy, it's got some good handling. Very different than my T100. I love the way it pulls. Very good. You know, these carbureted bikes are really something else. Like I said, Triumphs really know how to do the fueling. That's one of the key things about a Triumph, that a modern Triumph, that I noticed right away. Pulls like a banshee. Very good torque. What did I say? 51 foot-pounds of torque. That's about 69 Newton meters, I believe. 69 or 70, something like that. Spins on a dime. Look at that. 310 millimeter disc on the front. 2-piston caliper, I believe. I believe the rear is a 255 millimeter disc with a single piston caliper. Can you all hear that? I'm gonna open my helmet and run that real quick. I like it. I like it. And of course, being a Triumph, the brakes are excellent. First time I rode a modern Triumph, one of the first things I immediately came up with was just how good the brakes worked on it. And then of course how well it handled. Okay, let's do the spin test. The hill spin test. There's the power company right there. I'm probably in their way. Hey, if y'all are ever in Marnie, get yourself over here to the Derailed Grill right there. A little bit of dirt everywhere in the ground here. Try their Wahoo burger. Boy, this thing pulls really well. 5-speed transmission, by the way. I love the way it feels. This is a very sporting machine. 41 millimeter forks in the front. They're gaitered. It's a very comfortable bike. It's got some add-ons to it. I think they're all Triumph accessories, like this windscreen on the front. It's got a solo seat and a rear rack, a bash guard underneath. Let's take it out on the highway and see what we find. I am falling in love with this. You know, it's the right color, red and white. That's kind of my thing. Oh, it's singing good. I like it. I like this a lot. There's 5th gear. Wow, this is nice. Very minimalistic dash. 2006, I think that was the first year for this bike. It's got the slightly smaller gas tank. No tachometer, analog speedometer, analog trip meter, amazingly. Nothing digital about the dash. Very good seating position. You're sitting forward, leaning towards the bars just a bit. Your hips and your knees are about the same height. Your heels are slightly behind your knees, I'd say. Yeah, I think so. Look at the snow over yonder. Oil light, neutral light, blinkers, high beams. Boy, this is just a dream to ride. It really, I love the way it handles. I just love it. It's a beautiful thing. Well, we just had her out on the highway. She did very well for a bike with 55 horsepower. I think the engine is tuned for torque, you know, mid-range, low and mid-range torque. Does very well around town. I think she's, well, it's a Scrambler, so she's tuned for that kind of thing. Really jumps around here. Very responsive. Hey, let's run down to Motorcycle Park down here and we'll get the other camera out and take a look at this hot rod. What a dream machine. What a dream machine. That thing really ran well. I really like the way that thing performed. Just a good looking motorcycle. 2006, like I said. Lots of really neat details. I love these pipes, the way this goes. That's really a showpiece on these hot rods. They're nice and chrome. They're still original. You know, look at how they've colored up here on the front. The 865 engine is an air-cooled, oil-cooled, dual overhead cam, 4-valve per cylinder. Just a real hot rod. This one, I've got the same engine in my motorcycle, only mine has a little more power. This one's still carbureted. Mine's fuel injected. Of course, it has a 5-speed transmission over here. Beautiful 5-speed transmission. That's one of the reasons I bought my 865 was I love the engine and transmission combination. Just performed absolutely fabulously, you know. This one has got the add-ons of a bash guard, engine guards. I don't know if these are added on or if that came stock, but that's a real neat thing. The other thing is this fender. I thought that was an add-on, but that's actually stock too. You know, spoke wheels. These are Metzler Torrance tires. What size are these? 190/19 on the front. Brand new tires. Aren't they just gorgeous? 110 millimeter disc on the front, 310 millimeter disc on the front, a 255 millimeter disc on the rear with a 2-piston caliper. Check that out. I thought it was a single. Again, a new tire on the back. Let's see if we can spot the size on this one. It's a 130/19. Not sure what. Anyway, isn't that just gorgeous? Look at that thing. Just a thing of beauty. Other add-ons. They put the solo seat on it. I think these are all Triumph parts, by the way. The rear rack. Check out that rear end. Isn't that just gorgeous? Just love it. The bag. I like it. I like it a lot. Of course, it's the right color, red and white. I've got my T100 is just the same color. Gorgeous, you know. It's got the flat cap, these gorgeous 3D metal badges, white on the top, red on the bottom, gold stripe through the middle, knee pads, of course. This is the smaller tank. The newer ones had a bigger hump tank, which kind of didn't quite look as good, I don't think. Just a gorgeous machine. I absolutely loved riding this thing. I think the 55 horsepower was the limiting thing on the highway, but around town, I think the engine's tuned for torque. You know, it's the same engine I have on my bike, and mine does very well at high speeds. This is not quite as powerful. My bike has 67 horsepower. This has 55. They both have about the same amount of torque, but I think the torque is, this thing is tuned for torque down low. And you know, even with carburetors, the fueling is just excellent on Triumphs. They just do so well on these things, you know. I think that's one of the traits of a modern Triumph for sure. This is kind of cool too, isn't it? Very minimalistic. I love the way it looks. I mean, it looks like it was really well thought out. You know, a lot of detail in the looks, like kind of like a sculpted thing. Very good looking, very classic looking, I would say. I'm starting to pine, aren't I? Hey, if y'all are interested in a new or used Triumph, Royal Enfield, classic British bike of any type, need parts, accessories, thingamajigs, doodads, doohickeys, whatever you might possibly need, backpacks, boots, gloves, get yourself over here to Baxter Cycle in the mighty metropolis of Marnie, Iowa. Those guys can help you out, or go to baxtercycle.com. Make sure you tell them that Fuzzy Biker sent you. Now, it is a beautiful day, and I plan to get at least another 100 miles of motorcycle riding in, so if y'all can do the same, do it, my friends. Life is good. Get out and ride. Wahoo!